No way. Y'all do not understand what I've gone through to get this package. I feel like I need to have a funeral for these shoes. My mom bought them for me right before I started college, and I wear them every single day. These are the perfect shoes, and I was looking for something so similar that it was impossible for me to find anything. So I found a pair of Nikes. Oh, I really like these. I like these a lot. I've been an Adidas girl since 3rd grade, though, so I felt like I couldn't betray them. I found 2 pairs of Adidas that I really like. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. These are basically the same ones that I had, just in pink. I love these. These are so cool. These look a little big. But anyhow, I've waited for a month to get these because FedEx is horrible. It was just my 1-year anniversary of the day that I arrived in Colorado, and although I haven't been in Denver the whole time, and I also have gone on some extended vacations, as I like to call them, I do like to explore and I love trying new places. So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to make a video about all of my favorite places in Denver. Just as a disclaimer, I think most people, when they're looking for recommendations, or they want either restaurants or bars, and I don't really do either of those things. If that's what you're looking for, please keep looking. Actually, I'm just gonna get my food recommendations out of the way right now. Cuba Cuba is like a local chain. I'm not sure what the word for that is, but it's Cuban food. Their food is really delicious, and they have this burrito that has a plantain in it. It's so good. Just Be Kitchen. It's in a really cute location. I feel like if I were a restaurant, I would be Just Be Kitchen, you know? I think that dog just ate that squirrel. I'm not kidding. Because there are vegetarian and vegan options, but not everything is. I think their thing is that they're gluten-free or something, but their food is so good. This coconut curry, I literally have dreams about it. I think about it all the time. And the tortilla is the best part. You have to order the tortilla. And then next, I'm gonna say Sawara, which is if you're looking for grocery store sushi prices, but restaurant sushi quality, well, that's kind of a hot take. It's cheap, but the sushi is still good. I go there every day. Well, okay, that might also be an exaggeration. These literally aren't even real restaurants. This is not like for special occasions. You know, these are just my day-to-day go-to favorite spots. I love going to parks, and Denver has so many great parks, but I'm just going to share a few of my favorites. So the Denver Rock Park is the first one that comes to mind because it's very unique. It's really cool. It has like rocks to climb on, which if you're a kid is really fun. If you're an adult is also really fun. I would have loved this park so much as a kid. Like, these rocks were literally meant to be climbed on. Jessamine Park is a really large park quite near downtown Denver. Same thing with Washington Park, and they're both beautiful, have grass fields, and you know how I feel about grass. Washington Park also has like lakes and stuff, and they both have tons of trails around. Like, you can run like miles around these parks just because their trails are so expansive. Playgrounds, areas to like play sports and stuff. They have everything you could ever want, and they're beautiful and both really close to downtown. I would be remiss if I did not mention my favorite park in Denver, and it might not be the best lake park in all of Denver. I will recommend also Sloan's Lake Park and Berkeley Lake Park. Sloan's Lake Park especially, it's really big. It's a 3-mile loop, and you get city views on one side and mountain views on the other. But Rocky Mountain Lake Park just has a really special spot in my heart because I used to live literally directly across the street of it, and every morning while I was training for the Richmond Marathon, I would walk across the street and go run. It's just so beautiful because all 3 of those lake parks have incredible mountain views, and just on a fall morning, I'm gonna get emotional. Next, I'm going to talk about dessert. The first one is definitely a tourist. This is not a unique suggestion. This is a tourist suggestion. Little Man ice cream. It's so good. It is so good. I think about it all the time. Some people will say it's overrated. Some people say it's not worth waiting in the line. But I think it's so good. Ice cream gelato out in Lowry is really, really good. They also have a lot of unique flavors and they taste so good. And then a non-frozen dessert, dochi. They make mochi donuts and they also, again, unique flavors, and they're always so on point. Whatever they say it's gonna taste like. If they're like, this is gonna taste like Fruity Pebbles, it tastes exactly like Fruity Pebbles, but it's a mochi donut. Also love to go to coffee shops, particularly for getting work done. I cannot speak to the quality of the espresso or anything like that because I don't like coffee. I have a few favorite places to go just like for the vibes, to get work done. So I think actually that reminds me of another thing that I wanted to address in this video is just like, how do I find these places? I either Google like parks. I knew I wanted to find good parks, so I just Googled like best parks in Denver, and then I make a list. I also just spend a lot of time exploring, either driving around or walking around or running around, and that's why I love being a runner so much, and having been a runner in all of these different cities. And you just get to, usually I'll be running down a city street and like every place I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, that seems so cute, like I want to go there, and I'll add it on my Google Maps. So there's this place called Thump, which is in the Capitol Hill kind of area, I think, and they have these long tables and a lot of outlets, like there will be a ton of people there working on their laptops, so you will not feel out of place, and everybody else working will help you get work done. They have this red pepper cream cheese that I got on a bagel once, and I really like. For a coffee shop, they have good food. Okay, speaking of coffee shops with good food, and speaking of things that I think about all the time, I went to this one coffee shop called Pinwheel. They had the best blueberry muffin I've ever had in my life, and I'm saying that confidently. It's also super cute. They had a little disco ball in the bathroom. And then the last one, don't kill me guys, it's a Starbucks, but this Starbucks is inside, so it's inside the REI on Platt Street, and I just love going there. If you go outside, it has views of the Platte River and downtown Denver. It's the coolest Starbucks ever. And this is a really great segue into the shopping section. I love to go to the REI on Platt Street. I've only actually purchased something from there a handful of times, but I go there at least once a week, like just for the vibes. It's inside this really old building. There's a climbing wall in the middle of it, and then you're just like surrounded by outdoor recreation equipment. My box today came from ThredUp. As you guys know, I don't really like to buy new things if I don't have to, especially clothes. Denver is home to the best Goodwill of all time. Well, at least the best Goodwill that I've ever been to. They always have such good stuff, and it's 2 floors. And the first time I went in there, I got so overwhelmed because there's so many things. In terms of more, like, I don't know what you call like upper scale thrift stores, I really like Common Threads on Pearl Street. There's a location in Boulder also that I've been to. Every time I go in there, I'm like, I'm not planning on buying anything. And then they always have something. I think that their staff has really good style, so I always find something that I like and end up buying something even though I went in not wanting anything. They also have they have a good selection of athleisure. So speaking of athleisure, there's a thrift store called the Yogi Exchange, which is all just athletic wear, and then it's attached to Second Love Boutique, I think it's called, which also just has cute clothes. And Tennyson Street just has like a bunch of cute shops and restaurants, so it's definitely worth just taking a walk around. In the fall or spring, don't go outside in Denver during the summer or winter. Well, winter can be nice, not on the days it snows, but then usually like the day after it snows, it's like 60 degrees. Finally, the last store is called Inspyre Boutique. They have, I think, 4 locations. I have had a bad experience with the staff in the one on Tennyson Street. I like the one at Park Meadows the most, but the Tennyson Street one is the biggest, has the most selection. And this is new clothes. I know I said I don't like buying new things, but sometimes it's nice. I've never found a store that's like so aligned with my personal style, and I love going there even just to get inspiration and look at what they're selling. That is all of my recommendations. It's been a great year here in Denver. I love Denver. I just went to a Lumineers concert a couple of weeks ago with my friend Casey. You're so cute!
Okay, so are you.
It was really emotional for me. When I think about my first road trip out to Colorado, I always think of the Lumineers because that's what I was listening to on the way out here. They were telling their story and I felt like it so paralleled my story. They were talking about how they started out in New York, but they could never make it in New York. And he said when we came to Denver, it felt like we were home. When I first came out here, I told everyone that I was moving here for temporary but for permanent. And I think now I'm here for permanent but for temporary. I see myself here for the time being, but I don't know if I'll be here forever. And thank you so much for tuning in and for being patient as I waited for my shoes, because I just have issues where if I have an idea in mind, I need to make that idea come to life. You know what I mean? And I was like, I need these shoes for this intro. So I had to wait for the shoes. All right, you guys don't care. Gotta go, bye.